flosstube, I'm Kim Chamberlain, the Canal Town Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. This channel is primarily about cross stitch, and I have a lot to share today because it's been a while since I have been on. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping back in to see me. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and we're gonna get right into it. So those of you that follow me know that I go to New York every summer. I just feel like I need to adjust my camera just a tad. And so I do a video in June, or I think it was the last one that I filmed was in May this year. And then I don't come back again until after my trip and after I'm settled. Today is Sunday, August 31st, 2025, and I worked on a lot over the summer while I was away. So I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I'm a teacher. I love teaching, and the school year has started. So, we're getting back into the swing of life. I have 4 kids, Ethan, Ryan, Grace, and Adam. Ethan and Ryan live on their own, and Ethan lives here in Jacksonville, and Ryan lives up in New York State with his girlfriend. And then Grace is still home, but she's graduated from high school, so she's going to college. And then Adam, who just started high school this year. We have 3 dogs. 2 dogs are my husband and our dogs and our family dogs, Eddie and Charlie. And then my daughter has a 9-month-old puppy named Finn, and he is her dog. So that's why I say we have 2 dogs / 3 dogs, because when she eventually moves out at some point, she is taking Finn with her. So he is her dog and she takes care of him and all of his needs and all of that fun stuff. I've been cross stitching a very long time. So for those of you that are new, because this is a semi WIP parade, and that's going to be in my title, so it brings a lot of new people to my channel. This is my 4th year on flosstube, and I've been cross stitching pretty regularly since 2020, but I have been a cross stitcher since I was about 12 years old. Taking long breaks while I had my babies, and while we were in the season of life with 4 kids under the age of 10, I didn't do a lot of stitching. But then during the pandemic, I was crocheting a lot, and I had made all these baby blankets, and I was getting a little tired of crochet. So I went to my cross stitch basket, and I was like, what is in here that I can finish? And I found a project and then jumped in. Then I found flosstube, and from there, I have never looked back. Everything's just been, I've just been cross stitching. Over the summer, I did get into Hobby House Needleworks. I have a big haul, not a big haul, but big haul for me, because very rarely do I buy anything that's for cross stitch, because I have such a large stash already. But when I go to New York, I always go to Hobby House, because that is where I grew up. So if you're familiar with where Hobby House Needleworks is, it's in Victor now. But that area of New York is where I am originally from. So we go there, and this year I got to meet up with my cousin, and we had a great day of shopping, and we did a lot of influencing each other to purchase stuff, and I came home with quite a bit. So I am going to share that with you towards the end of the video. And I have a couple of new starts, but I don't know where they are in this mess. So I'm just going to start showing you things that I worked on over the summer. I didn't really finish a lot of things, really finish things over the summer like I did last summer. Last summer I had finished several items, but this summer I didn't. My husband and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, and we went to St. Cloud, Minnesota for a trip. And I worked quite a bit on cross stitch for that, because he had to work. It was a working trip for him. So while he was out working, I was in the hotel room stitching. So I had a really nice little break there. I think that's it. I think that's all there is to catch you up on, besides just the stitching. So we're going to get started, and I have my iPad ready for patterns that are on my iPad that I need to show you. and I have all 3 of my bins here, and we're just gonna start. So the first piece that's right on top here is, oh, and I did do WIP Go this year, but I didn't really keep up with it that much, but we'll go over that as I come across those projects too. So the first piece I'm going to show you is Scandinavian Forest. I have been working on this for a long time. I would like to make this a focus piece for me. And let me see here. Yeah. So I do want to make this kind of a focus piece this year so that I can kind of get it done. It is one of my favorite pieces. I do love it. Let's see here. But I'm stitching it on 18 count 1/1, and I don't love that. And I've said a few times on my channel that I really prefer to stitch with 2 strands. So normally I stitch on 32 count or 16 count or 14 count, 28 count. Trying to find my good notes, because that's where this pattern is stored, right there. I did buy this on Etsy back in 2021-ish, and I think it's still available. It is going to look like this when it's done. So one thing you'll learn quickly about me is that I am a big fan of foxes. So if I'm gonna stitch woodland animals, it's gonna be a fox. I've been working mostly across the top, and I didn't put in a super ton amount of stitches into this, but I did stitch on it. And so I'm one of those people that's like, well, if I worked on it at all, even if it was just 5 stitches, I'm going to show it to you because I worked on it. So it doesn't have a huge difference from the beginning of the year until now, but I did work on it some. And I'm apologizing because I don't really iron anything until I'm fully done with it. So this is where I am on this one. This is 18 count fiddler's cloth, I think. I got it from Michael's. And I'm using all the called for colors on this. So it's coming along. It does have quite a bit done. And I've been keeping it kind of out in my stitchy bag so that or in my stitchy basket, so that if I feel like it, I can just pull it out and work on it. I apologize for the zippers. I'll try to keep it to a minimal. All right, next up is my Artisy pattern. And I worked on this a lot the week that I got back from New York. I tend to do that with my full coverage pieces, is work on them a lot. Actually, this is a paper pattern, so I can actually pull the picture out. So it's Mini Dreamy Night. It's by Artisy Cross Stitch. I got this from 123 Stitch. And it's gonna look like this when it's done. And I have really enjoyed stitching on this since I have learned that I really want to stitch on the 16 count when I do full coverage pieces. And so this lives in its hoop because I always want to be able to work on it. And I have gotten almost 2 full pages done on this one. I don't park. I tried parking with my first full coverage piece, and I hated it. I really had a hard time keeping up with where I was parking. I do kind of work in the diagonal, and you'll kind of see that going down, but I don't, I travel a little bit. So like I'll use a piece of strand, like a strand, until it's gone. And that just keeps me on track. And then I just kind of fill in big blocks where I can. But this is really coming along. So I think by the end of the year this year, I might have 2 full pages done on this one, which would excite me a lot. Next up. Oh, and I use an envelope system for that. And if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to send me a message asking. It's kind of like along the lines of Gemma Stitches. And if you are familiar with her, she does beautiful stitch with me's, but she does these huge full coverage pieces, and she has tutorials and things like that. And I really liked her idea for how she uses envelopes for her strands of colors that she's currently using. And so that's what I do with that one. All right, next up, let's go to my other one. This one is also a full coverage. It is mini Heaven and Earth, or it is a Heaven and Earth Designs mini Heaven and Nature Sing by Donna Gelsinger. It looks like this. And I have restarted this one. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I started this 3 times before this time, but this time I switched it to a 16 count. I was stitching on an 18 count and I didn't like how bunchy it was. It was like I was doing 2 over 1 on 18 count, and I didn't like the way that it was working out. So I switched it to a 16 count. I actually just started this over again last weekend, and I have 654 stitches in. So I have made a little bit of progress on this. And this is where I am now. So I like this way better on the 16 count. It's going to be a lot larger, but I don't care at this point. Like, I want to enjoy it if I'm stitching on it. So it's 16 count, 2 over 1. And again, you can see that I'm doing some traveling. No parking. This is just I pulled the needle off of it today. And I still have more stitching to do with this color, so I just put it off to the side so that it wasn't hanging down and confusing me. And I will grab it. I only, so this style is like cross-country style, and I only go about an inch or so. I don't like to travel very far because I don't want long strands of travel in the back. I think the most I've traveled is, yeah, about an inch in the back, but that works for me. All right, let's do the last bag I have here, because I have these like bags. This is my husband's stocking. I'll pull up this picture for you so that you can see what it'll look like when it's done. It's also in GoodNotes. I use GoodNotes to store a lot of my PDF patterns. Find this one. I bought this stocking off of Etsy as well. It is from Happy Nest on Etsy. They have a bunch of really cute ones. So this is the one that I am stitching for my husband. And I have a lot of this done. So this is what I have done so far. So this is on 25 count potato even weave. I wanted it to be large enough that we would be able to actually put stuff in it, because some stockings are small, but I wanted to make sure that it was going to be big enough that once I fully finish it, I can actually put some things inside it. So this is coming along really well, and this will definitely be done by Christmas this year, and then I will start on mine. My husband and I have never really had like really nice ones. I quilted, my kids have quilted ones that I quilted about, gosh, 10 years ago now. But I have decided that I will cross stitch one for each of my children as well. These patterns are not that expensive. So, and they're super easy. It's a lot of pattern stitching. So once you get used to the pattern, you can just keep going with it. And it's an easy nighttime stitch for me because it's on 25 count. So even if my eyes are a little bit tired, it's easy to pull it out and work on it. Okay, next up, what have I got next? Start pulling from the top here. I don't work on either of these. I did work on this for not very long last night because I was getting frustrated with the needle. I think it was just me. So it was late in the evening and I was tired and I was having a hard time threading it. All right, this is Little Dove Designs, Adjust Your Sales. This you can buy on Etsy. Pretty sure though I bought this in a shop. I'm having the hardest time finding the color for this, but my cousin came through. She had found it in her mom's stash of thread. It's $40.25. You have to order it special. Anyways, this is where I am now. So all I worked on last night was this cloud. So these clouds were already done. Let's pull it in a little bit closer so you can see it. So I saw this finished at the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat in February. Somebody had finished it. So, and I like Little Dove Designs. This is the third Little Dove design that I had started. One I've finished already. And then I have another one to show you because I did work on it over the summer. They have some really cute designs. Next up is a new start from over the summer. Again, this one is on, actually this one is in Markup XP, which I have started using and have really liked. This one is called Gingerbread House. It is going to look like this when it's done. It is a 5x5 circle finish. And I'm stitching it on 14 count Vintage Stormy Night. And this is where I am so far. Really loving this. Super easy to stitch. And so I'm planning to have just a little bit of the outside edge showing. So that's why I chose this fabric, because it's mostly stitching, like the piece itself is mostly stitching, but all right, next up, show this one. No, not that one. This was another new start. started this also when I came back from New York. It is Merry and Bright by Cottage Garden Samplings. I have stitched a lot of their pieces. I really love them. So I've stitched Peace on Earth. I've stitched First Signs of Spring. I'm working on, oh, what is it? It's over here. Where did I put it? I literally just had it in my hand. I stuck it down here, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Seashore or By the Seashore. It's their seagull one. I can't, guys, oh goodness. Oh, and you'll also learn if you're new here that I'm always looking for something in one of my videos. Always. I'm always wasting time looking for something. Anyways, I'm going to stitch Merry and Bright with all of the called for DMCs on a piece of 32 count Smoky Pearl linen by Witchelt. Right? No, it's Weigert. This is Weigert. No, this is Witchelt. And I've used this before. I used this to stitch Peace on Earth as well. And this is where I am on that. So the M is just about done. And I'm working on the E in Merry. And then I put this down to work on Mini Dreamy Night. So, but I really do love Cottage Garden Samplings. I have It's Snow Time. I mean, like I like their pieces. I'm stitching the Fox. I didn't work on that over the summer. So I did take it with me to New York, but I never pulled it out. So I can't get this back in. No. Okay. Next up is, let's see here. I don't remember if I started working on this one before or after I went to New York, but I'm going to show it. It's in Good Notes. This is gotta find it. Ow. Where is this? Should be right around these. Oh goodness. Let's check in my files because it's probably in there. Yes, it is. It's called Rainbow Reindeer. It's gonna look like that when it's done. And I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count. For some reason my back is starting to really hurt and I don't know why. This is 32 count Witchelt. It might be lamb's wool. 32 count lamb's. I bet you that's what it is. 32 count lamb's wool linen. And I dropped a skein of floss. Let me just pick it up before I lose it under the bed. And that is my start on this one. Cute little reindeer. So next up, it's going to be the buffalo check. So it'll be cute. All right, next up. Didn't work on that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. I did work on this. This is Hello Dear. This is by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And let me pull this up so you can see it. Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It looks like this. I worked on this a lot over the summer because I'm really trying to get the tree done. I really want to get that tree done because it's annoying. I did Hello Pumpkin a couple of years ago, and the tree was like the worst part. So this is being stitched on a piece of 28 count vintage smoky white with all the called for colors, and there it is. So I did finish the tree, and I'm starting to work on these little boxes, these little gift boxes over to the side. I finished the reindeer. Get close. So I'm really loving this. I do love this. When I stitched Hello Pumpkin, I loved it too because there's like all the motifs. And as you're finishing them up, it just feels like little finishes everywhere on it. So I love that. And I feel like the lighting in here is getting a little weird. So I don't know if I want to turn off the light above me. I don't think I do. The sun is shifting in the sky a little bit and it's making it a little weird. All right, next up, let's see here. Going through all the ones that I worked on. I worked on this one. This is Clover and Hives. This is by Hands On Designs. And this is being stitched on a piece of 16 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed myself using the tutorial by it'll come to me. It's a mother and daughter. It'll come to me. Anyways, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's got a lot of specialty stitches in it. And I worked on this on the airplane going to and coming back from Minnesota. And this, let me put it on this side. This is what I have done so far on it. So I wanted to finish off all the green, and I'm getting to the purples. See if I can get close so you can see those specialty stitches. It's kind of dark. What if I turn my camera this way? Get a little bit more light. That's a little better. I apologize for moving the camera while we're in the middle of filming, but I'm just trying to get the lighting just a little bit better. Okay. Next up I did work on this. No, I showed that the last time. Okay, I didn't work on any of these. That's my stash that I brought. It's in this bin. This bin. We did work on this. All right, so if you've been following me for a long time, I've been working on this for a long time. It's called International Santas. It was in the 2000 keepsakes calendar for Better Homes and Gardens. And I have finished every cross stitch on this. So this is fully stitched now. So now I'm trying to decide what I want to do for back stitching. So let me show you. So let me get this. All five Santas are done. So I finished all of the Santas and then all of the snowflakes above them. And there's some back stitching in this that I want to do. I'm going to leave some of the back stitching out because I think some of it is overkill. But there's like back stitching in the shoes, like in the boots here, and some back stitching here, obviously for the jingle bells that he's holding. So anywhere, I'm gonna look at the picture, and anywhere that there's back stitching that I think is really gonna make a difference in how the piece looks, I'm gonna do that. But otherwise, this was started in 2021. I am so thrilled to have all of the cross stitch done. So all the stitching is done. So now you know what it looks like, this mystery picture from all those times, because it was really hard for me. I did find a tiny little picture of it, and I tried to show it like several times in the last 4 years because I've been working on this since 2021, and the picture just never really showed like what it looked like, and it's impossible to find this pattern. But I'm finally done with all the cross stitch, and now I can focus on the back stitch, so that is exciting. This was stitched on a piece of 28 count Whisper Lugana with all the called for DMCs. I didn't work on that. I did work on this a little bit. This is a pattern by the this is a Soda Stitch pattern. So let me close out of this, find the Soda Stitch pattern. It is called Busy Santas. Oh, actually, this is Stitchrovia. Hang on. Info. That's funny. This is Stitchrovia. It is an Emma Congdon. What's funny about it though is that like you can see the picture of it. It's not showing up. Anyways, we'll go into GoodNotes and we'll find it. Sorry, I'm talking down, not up. It's called Busy Santa, and it's gonna look like this when it's done. It's super cute. I got it on Etsy. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count oh my gosh, it's 28 count even weave, but I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me. I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, that's where I am. It's not very far. But remember, like I said, anytime I put stitches in something, that counts as stitching in my mind. So here it is. Okay. It is 28 count though. I got it from Joann Fabrics a long time ago before they went out of business. I didn't work on that at all. I didn't work on this at all. I did work on this, but not very much. But I'm going to show you. This is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. It is the only Blackbird design that I have, and I love it. I'm stitching this with a couple of different a couple of different fabrics, flosses, because at the time I got this chart, it was super popular and everybody was stitching it, and I couldn't find the Gentle Arts Garden Gate or Onyx, and so I swapped them out for Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using charcoal and grapevine, and I like them so much. So I'm not sad or sorry that I did that. And I finished the border on this over the summer. So I actually did do quite a bit of stitching on this now that I'm looking at it. Because I finished the border all the way around. And it matched up. Woot woot. When it matches up, that's just so cool. I finished the border this year on my land that I love too, and it matched as well. So it's always a good thing when it matches up. I did buy some extra of these colors when I was at Hobby House so that I would make sure that I had enough to do the inside. But now I'm excited because I can start working on the inside of this and get to that house and those crows, blackbirds, crows. So this was on my WIP Go board this year. So is Scandinavian Forest. All right, this one I worked on. This one is another Little Dove design. It is Christmas Wishes. And it's gonna look like this when it's done. I did All Hallows Eve, which is like the same one. So I'm doing this on a scrap piece of fabric that I bought from Hobby House last summer. It is Whisper. I did the whole border to make sure that it would fit on here. It's super tight, but that's okay because the way I'm gonna finish it, I think it's gonna end up being just fine. I was worried that it wasn't gonna fit, so I did do the entire border before I started working on the inside so I could make sure that it was gonna fit all the way down on this fabric, and it does. And then I started working on the top. All the called for DMCs. This is gonna be super fun. I thought the All Hallows Eve one was very fun too. The only thing I don't like about Halloween stitching is stitching cobwebs. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of stitching cobwebs. They look super cool, but they're really hard to stitch, and I will die on that hill. A lot of times I think that, especially like some designers, like when you're putting in the cobwebs and things like on the pattern, it looks super cool, but it doesn't like add up with the holes just right. So it's really hard to get your cobweb to look exactly like the cobweb that's in the pattern because of that, because it doesn't line up with the holes. Anyways, this one is adorable and I love working on it. So I will be working on that some more into the season. I worked on this one a lot as well. This is, ooh, that's sharp. Is there a needle in there? Why is that sharp? I think there might be a needle in there. Poked me. the most wonderful feast of the year. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that this one was another one that I restarted several times. And now I've fallen in love with it because I'm stitching it on a piece of 28 count even weave, and it is going beautifully. I had stitched it on, it was on 18 count time, 1/1. I hated it because I didn't think it was bright enough. I had started it on a 36 count, and that ended up not being a large enough piece of fabric. It was like a scrap piece, and it ended up not being large enough. And so this one, now it's actually starting to look like it's supposed to. And I don't mind working on it. So it's awesome. Get it a little closer maybe. So, yep. I'm doing the back stitch as I go this time. That's going to make it so much easier because the only part of this piece that's back stitched is the wonderful. So I'm just doing it all, just back stitching it as I go. And so I've been much happier with this piece since I did that. All right, next up, I worked on this. This is up on the housetop. It's by Stitching with the Housewives. I've had this pattern a long time. I am stitching this with all the called for Classic Colorworks on a piece of charcoal linen, 32 count. And I have all of up on the housetop stitched, and now I'm working on some of the snowflakes around, and then I will move down and into the thing. I think the problem is that the sun is going in and out from behind the clouds. It's a beautiful day today, by the way. Gorgeous day. TJ took Adam out to Home Depot because he's going to start his own little mailbox painting business, maybe. He's trying to build a computer. So he already has the hard drive and all of that. Now he's, I'll shift my position here. Now he's trying to get all the money together so that he can build his computer. He's 14. But his big brother is helping him. My son Ethan is really, 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 really good at computery stuff. So he is going to help his brother. I worked on this. This is Quaker. I've also been working on this since 2021. This was also one that I bought from Etsy. It's by Stitching Spell. Looks like this. But I'm stitching mine with 350, 351, and then the grays are the same grays. And I finished all the way across the top, and now I'm starting to work into the middle here. On these ones, I just go wherever I feel like it. And this is being stitched on a piece of Silvery Moon, 32 count Lugana. And there it is. So I've stitched all the way across, and now I'm kind of going down into the middle. There's a big motif right here that I'm working on. It's going to be fantastic. I'm working on this and going to hang it in this room actually when I'm done. This is our spare bedroom. So I think it'll look really nice in here. So I'm excited to continue to work on this. Plus, this fabric is so easy to stitch on. It's like a dream. This fabric is very, very, very easy to stitch on. Okay. I'm making a nice mess on the floor next to me that I'm going to have to clean up. What else do I have in here? I didn't work on that. What is this? I did work on this. Oh, no, I did work on this too. What is this? Okay, didn't work on that. Did not work on that. What else is in here? Did not work on that. Okay. All right. This is a pattern by here's my washer machine. This is a pattern by Luminous Fiber Arts. It's called Sneaky Spooky Spells. It's going to look like this when it's done. And I am stitching this on a piece of 16 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed myself. And I use that tutorial and eventually it'll come to me. It'll probably come to me when we're done with the video. It was a mom and daughter. Maybe I'll look it up. Anyways, this is what I have done so far. My kitty cat. Everything seems to be matchy-matchy, so I like that. And this is the fabric. So what I love about how the model, like it just came out so good. The modeling came out so good on this coffee tea dyed fabric. So don't be afraid to do a little bit of dyeing your own fabric because it can be fun. I dyed this one too. This one's going to be for this one's going to be for the Halloween Nomies. I decided. But I dyed this one using a RIT dye tutorial that the Seattle Stitcher put out. So this is going to be really cool to stitch a Halloween piece on. I had a lot of fun dyeing this. I dyed these pieces in like February or March. Oh no, it was before I went on my trip, so it had to be January. I am going to the Barefoot Needle Art retreat in October. So if you're going, seek me out because I don't have a table to sit at. Find me. I'm going to be there on Thursday night, so I'm hoping to find a table then or somebody to sit with because people go and they have all these people that go with them and I go by myself. So help a girl out. All right, last one that I'm going to show you before I get into my haul is New York. Where is this? Maybe it's in my files. It is by, yes, it is. That's the pattern. Can't show that. This is also the pattern. Where's one with a picture? I don't want to show you because these are all, hang on. Let's go into Etsy and I can find it. because I don't want to show you the chart. I do not want to do that. I am not one of those people. Let's see here. It's called New York, and it is by Stitch. It looks like this. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. This is Letchworth State Park, which is, again, by where I grew up. And I recognized it right away because I saw the train trestles over the gorge. We did not make it to Letchworth this year while we were up there. This is being stitched on a piece of limestone Lugana, and it is 32 count. And this is where I am now. So this has been coming along very beautifully. I've enjoyed this very much. I got to get back to it. And that is the last of the pieces that I worked on over the summer, I think. Anyways, that's the last thing I'm going to show you because that's the last thing I think I need to show you. A lot of stuff. I worked on a lot of things. Let me get back into this. All right, now I'm going to show you all the pretty things. What's in this? Oh yeah, I didn't work on that. Now I'm going to show you all the pretty things I bought at Hobby House Needleworks. So I bought a lot of stuff, but I knew I had a budget and I stuck to that budget. Like I was like right in it. So let me turn that off so it doesn't waste all the battery. So now let's go over all the pretty things. So let's do patterns first. So I have wanted this one for a long time. It's Gather Here. This is from Hello from Liz Matthews. I have loved this pattern ever since I saw it the first time. And so when I found it there, I wanted it and got it. By the way, we were there the last day of their grand opening weekend, so we were able to get all of these things for a 10% discount. They had a huge retreat too, so there was a lot of people there that were from all over the country that were there for their retreat. All right, next up. Let's Talk Stitching. I have stitched Let's Talk Autumn and Let's Talk Winter. This is by Hands On Design. I do plan to stitch this with all the called for DMCs, and I bought a piece of fabric that I can stitch this on. I am taking this with me to the retreat that I'm going to in October. I purchased the fabric for, hang on, a couple of projects, but we're doing patterns right now. All right, Hive Rules. This is by Primrose Cottage and Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I'm doing my mantle in a beehive theme for the summers. So I have to say that this was probably one of the most expensive charts I bought. Their charts tend to be a little bit more pricey. I think it's just because they're so popular right now. Next up, Silver Creek Samplers, and I have stitched a couple of these, like I stitched Lighting the Way. I have a couple of their patterns. This is Hand in Hand. It says, in life we all will stumble and find it hard to stand. Make the journey easier by walking hand in hand. And I just love this chart for its diversity. And I would love if I could put this in my classroom, but in this political climate, I'm not sure that I can. So I'm going to stitch it anyway. Next up is Good Company Plum Street Samplers. The fox was what sold me on this one. Plus, I love the autumn colors. I bought Sweater Weather. This is also by Plum Street. This is her weenie collection. So I loved this one. I got Flamingo All the Way. I plan to stitch this and put it on our Christmas tree because my husband hates flamingos. 25 years married. I can get away with it. Next up, I bought 4 of the 7 for Beach Boardwalk. I do have the other 3 that are needed in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart. I just haven't purchased them yet. And so I have the bike shop. I have souvenir shop. I have the snack shop. And I have the saltwater taffy store. And I need the ice cream shop, the boardwalk sign, and one other, the surf shop. And then I'll have all 7. And I do plan to do this on the called for fabric, which is sapphire, star sapphire. So it's a Witchell fabric. I have some in my stash. I think I might have that's big enough, and I'm going to do it all the way across. Like if you look up the Beach Boardwalk on Instagram or on, just Google it, and people's finishes are there. It's in a horizontal. All right, and then the last pattern I bought is Betsy's Autumn. And this is Plum Street Sampler as well. A lot of fall pieces. I like to stitch fall. I like to stitch. That's just all there is to it. I like to stitch. So those were all the patterns I bought. Now let's look at fabrics. So I bought a piece of antique white Lugana, 32 count, and this is going to be for Gather Here. And I am going to use the $37.99 DMC that it calls for on this. You can use silk too. The silk was smoky, I think that's what it was called. Or smokestack, that's what it's called. But it's like $8 a skein, so I was like, I'll just stitch with the DMC right now. I'm good with that. And this is the fabric that I bought to go with Let's Talk Stitching. This is 16 count Midnight Gray Ada by Witchelt. So that's what I'm going to stitch Let's Talk Stitching on. And I'm just going to go through my stash and see if I have all the DMCs for it. And then I bought some just regular Lugana and linen in 32 count, so that just different ones. This one's platinum, just so that I have some more of these, especially because I bought all of those Plum Street patterns. So these are good for this. This is a natural raw, I think. The next one. No, light mocha, 32 count. Light mocha. Or mushroom. This is Belfast linen. Just, I like these neutrals. And then I got another piece of 32 count. This is platinum, but it's in linen, not even weave. And then the last thing that I have is some skeins of, I bought four of these. I only bought 3. So this is guacamole. This is for, let me see here. Do I have it in here? I don't think I have it in here. I do. So I had started this. This is Country Cottage Needleworks, and it is Bunny Hop. And I had started this a while ago. And I ran out of the floss for it. I ran out of the guacamole, but I had thought that I needed moss. So when I was at Hobby House Needlework last summer, I bought 3 skeins of moss because that's what I thought I needed. And I really needed guacamole. So now I have these beautiful moss pieces that I don't need, but I do have the guacamole that I do need. So I can work on that again. And then I bought 2 more skeins of the grapevine for Blackbird Designs, Away We Ride, so that I didn't run out of that. So that was all of my purchases. I feel like I did a good job. I feel like I didn't overbuy. There's a lot of pieces here that I didn't work on at all. And so you'll see that progress at the end of the year for the end of year WIP parade. And then of course throughout, because I will usually film about once a month. Now that I'm back and in my routine, I'll film about once a month, and you'll get to see all of my progress for all of my projects that I work on throughout the month. I don't have like a system of when I pull things out. I just look at it and say, oh, I'd like to work on this. Or I put it in my bin downstairs, and then I can just grab out of that bin for whatever I feel like working on. Most nights I want something easy because I'm tired. You know, like my days are hectic and busy, and I'm always moving, and sometimes my eyes get tired. So I do, like the easier projects in the evening, but on the weekends I spend a lot of time just working on whatever I feel like working on. So, and I have some finishing that I really want to get done, so that I can actually have some fully finished items maybe out for the fall and for the winter this year. So, but that's it. That's all I have. I can't believe I was able to film this in an hour. So that's good. I have a lot of cleaning to do and a lot of organizing to do. So thank you so much for watching me today. If you haven't yet and you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. Maybe hit that notification bell so that you know when I filmed another floss tube. Feel free to ask questions and say hi to me. If you're going to the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat and you're going to be there, just, wave a hand or send me an emoji or something that just lets me know that you're going, and maybe I'll meet up with you there at some point. I'm really looking forward to going. My husband's going with me this time, but he's got business stuff that he's got to do. So he's actually got to go to Columbia, South Carolina on Saturday, so he won't be around for most of Saturday. So, I'll just be hanging out and stitching in the stitchy room while he's working and doing all the things. But he'll be around to have dinner and things like that with me. So that'll be nice. Have a little getaway. But if you have any questions or, anything that you would like to share or add, please feel free to do so in the comments. And I hope that everybody has a great rest of their stitching summer. It's coming to an end quite close, and heading into those pumpkin spice fall stitching sweater weather type of days when we can just cozy on up with our stitching. And maybe I'll stitch a stitch with me here or there, because I really like to do that, and it's been a long time since I've done it, so I'd really like to get back into that because I really enjoy that very much. I hope everybody, again, like I said, is doing well, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later.